It's a new year.
New year, new us.
New us. Have you changed?
Uh, I don't think I have.
Okay, no, me neither.
Not yet, anyway. The year is still young.
That's true. That's true. And it starts off good because we have a beta release of Mendix 9.
Yes.
Pretty
So
exciting.
let's jump in. Before us, we have the release notes of Mendix 9.0.2.
Yeah. And we do have to say this is a beta release.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a beta comes with a side note.
Yeah. Bit of a warning.
Yeah. So if you look at the release notes yourself, you can see this button here, Mendix Beta Features. I happen to have it here as well. And I think worth mentioning is the limitations of the beta features. I think they speak for themselves. Do not use it in production. There's no SLA. May introduce breaking changes. It may change in the future releases, and it may be incomplete. Yes, that's
this is purely for testing purposes.
It is. Yeah.
Do not upgrade your apps to this version and with the intention of deploying to a production environment, because it will not work.
Yeah, that says it all, I think.
This is a major release. So it's a big list.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, we'll try to make it brief, but no longer, so it will last about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, let's start off with the new features. Let's begin at the top with a couple of small ones, albeit very handy ones. An idea from Marnix: you can now copy and paste multiple entities and annotations in the domain model. Previously, you had to do that one at a time.
Yeah.
Which, okay, it was already a big change that was possible in the first place. But this addition is well, cool.
I like it.
And a handy, great idea.
Yeah, it's not something that you use very often, but when you use it, it's nice that you can multi-select.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's added support for files and images in the synchronize to device activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be there. So it's it's a good new feature.
Yeah, I assume previously it was only just regular entities data.
Yeah. It does sound like something that you should be you should consider very well. What files and images you synchronize, because obviously they tend to be a lot bigger than a regular object, and thus will take longer to synchronize to the device.
The next one is pretty big as well. You can now use the get caption and get key functions in microflow expressions, which are used client side, so nanoflows or conditional visibility.
Yep.
And for me personal, especially the last one is pretty big, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I also would like to make a side note that I think you should use the get key, because you can just still change the captions and the keys are set.
So yeah, the caption is translatable, so
yeah,
it's a bit tricky to compare that one, I think.
This is really cool.
Yeah. But of course, these are not the big new features we've been waiting for in Mendix 9.
No.
So there are a couple of headers in this documentation, which gives a bit of a sneak peek of what's there to come. So let's start with the MxAssist Performance Bot. There already is MxAssist, which helps us in creating microflows, at least if you have enabled MxAssist.
Yeah.
And what MxAssist basically does, it reads the microflow, the activities you've been working on, and it kind of predicts what could be a next step for you. You get a little context menu when you click on the blue button in your microflow, and you can pick one of the suggestions, or you can pick another option. The performance bot, on the other hand, is like a, well, like it says, a co-developer that helps you improve the performance of your app by inspecting your model against Mendix development best practices.
That's cool. I want to see this in action.
Yeah, I totally agree.
3 levels of assistance: so detection, the Bot inspects the app model. It makes a recommendation. There's a link to a detailed best practice guide with steps for fixing the issue and auto fixing. Okay, so you can also automatically implement the best practice and fix the issue. Let's see real quick what this is. Starts off with a good one. Calculated attributes. Do not use.
Yeah, do not use. It should be one sentence.
Okay, index
to attributes and sort bars.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
nice.
I get this.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
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 Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Add index to attributes that are using XPath expressions. Avoid caching non-persistable entities. It's an interesting list. So I think one of the easy ones to see for ourselves is avoid the committing of objects in a loop.
Yeah. Can we try it out?
Yeah, let's. So let me quickly make a microflow. In loop.
First things first, do we need to enable the performance bot somewhere in our preferences?
I think so, because the general MxAssist
is off.
So where is that again?
I think edit preferences.
New features.
Yeah, the general was a tab performance bot.
Oh, here. Okay.
Logic bot.
Sure. Show recommendations in editors. Cool.
Okay.
Let's. Oh wait. Of course, we first need an entity. And I don't know, do something that doesn't necessarily need to work because I only want to see it do something with the loop.
Yeah.
Loop over the entity list.
And commit the entity list.
And commit. I mean, iterate entity. Okay.
Yeah.
So show me this is wrong.
Maybe on the errors tab or something.
No. Maybe there's a new view.
Yeah, MxAssist Performance Bot.
Haha.
Nice find.
Okay, let me put it.
Would be handy to have that in the documentation.
Yes, please.
Which it is, because we didn't actually read the documentation of the assist bot, but only the release notes.
True. Yeah, we should have read this. Yeah.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Okay, that's on us.
Yep.
So
Anyway.
configuration, what we're going to do. Okay, so you can check your project model.
And you have your best practices.
Oh, nice. Oh, this cries out for being able to set your own best practices.
Yep.
And you can even go to documentation.
That's pretty cool.
Cool. I like.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, after having said okay. Commit inside loop.
Did you press inspect now?
No, I just pressed okay. I guess it like applies.
And rechecks the module.
rechecks.
Yeah. Cool.
I expect if I did this, then yeah. So disabling the microflows also removes the shown performance issue.
And it now has a blue one. So
that's
pretty handy.
I like this. Go to cause. Okay, so I can go there. View the recommendation.
I'm extremely curious to what will happen when we press move the commit. Yeah, okay, fair enough. We don't need the loop in this case, so
that is true.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Let me see if I do something else inside. Let me create a variable in here or something. So inspect now.
Oh no.
Right. View the recommendation. Oh, and now it can't automatically fix.
Ah,
I think because
it's too complex.
yeah,
It yeah,
it
because it
requires.
has to do too much work to your microflow that. Okay.
Yeah, I can imagine Assist cannot detect how to solve this yet.
No, I agree.
Perhaps there's something on this in the documentation of the performance bot as well.
And I think that's a good thing, right? Because you always want to make conscious decisions about
True. Yeah.
changing your microflow.
Yeah, I think this works as intended.
Yeah.
If it cannot solve something like this yet, I think it's better than do nothing, but do give the implication that something is wrong with the way that you built this performance-wise.
Yeah.
So let's quickly scan the performance bot. What can it do? Click an indicator in the visual editor to view the detected issue. So if I would click, oh, cool.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. So clicking the blue one in the top right corner also shows the recommendation.
Yeah.
Auto fixing. Auto fixing is only available when the bot can safely refactor the code without creating an error or making other undesirable change in the model. Okay. Yeah.
Ah, if the icon has letter A, it can be auto fixed.
All right.
Cool.
I guess I missed the A before.
Yeah, me too.
Expect now. That is a small letter A.
That's a very small A. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't.
Works.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if the A is there or not, because when you click it, you'll see the fix now button.
Exactly. Move commit. Cool.
I am curious how this performance bot will inspect our apps.
Kind of worthwhile
Because
upgrading one of
we
our apps.
already use another best practice tool at our clients. So I'm curious if those align a bit. Obviously, this one is common. Like this is a common thing to do. Don't commit in your in loops. But yeah, I'm curious how those stack up against each other.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I would very much like in the future to be able to set my own best practices. Next up is a new merge algorithm.
Yes.
Okay. So edit preferences.
New features.
New merge algorithm with fine-grained conflict resolution. Requires a restart of Studio Pro. Okay. We can do that. Save it. So what are we going to look at?
Yeah, there are two main advantages: fine-grained conflict resolution and the ability to make parallel changes to a list of widgets.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, so the fine-grained conflict, if you resolve a conflict now, you basically have to select one document and choose mine or use theirs. And with this change, you can go much more specific than just the whole document. So you don't want to replace an entire microflow with mine or theirs.
Yeah.
You want to be able to make, well, fine-grained changes.
That sounds super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to commit this microflow first.
Sure, I'll commit it as is. Sure.
Then you need to make a change to that microflow as well.
So let me remove the commit.
And I'll make some changes as well. And now you should be able to update.
Yeah. We have an error.
It's cool that this the tab of the microflow is now orange on the top.
Yeah, because I clicked resolve and I get some options: resolve using mine, resolve using theirs, mark as resolved. Yeah, so I can click resolve.
Yeah.
Which will show this microflow in a resolve situation.
But how is this the resolved situation?
I think this is both. No. What did you do? You created the variable?
I created the variable, the annotation, and split in the loop.
Okay, yeah, of course you created a split.
One thing that bothers me is why is the iterator not set anymore? Because we didn't touch any of that, did we?
No. In
Oh.
mine, it used to work.
Yeah.
Result. Well, what happens if I resolve using yours? Okay, so now it does show.
This is my microflow.
Okay, and I can still choose to say this is how I want it.
Yeah. So you can basically check what each thing, because you can cancel, go back into
Go back into the
conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Use mine and see the changes. Because this is your microflow, and you can basically check before actually accepting the resolution. You can check which which resolution works best. And this might not be the best example.
Obviously, that's that. Yeah, I guess that's what they say, right? You don't resolve the entire microflow as a whole anymore. You resolve.
It always tries to merge what it can merge.
Yeah.
And because my my exclusive split is it has a connection to your commit. So I said my exclusive split is if it's true, commit the object. If it's not, don't. And since you remove that commit, the exclusive split doesn't make any sense anymore. So it cannot merge that because it was affected by your commit.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's the the probable
I agree.
Explanation.
But what I am curious about is, so for example, if I want to do this, I can copy this, resolve using mine, and yeah. So you can copy paste between conflict resolution. So that is really handy.
Yeah, you can actually compare the different results.
So bottom line, apart from this weird situation that we created here, you do have like an infinite amount more options to resolve your conflicts. And I think that is what we should end this this quick glance at the new
excuse our terrible example because this is really big.
I think that's part of our charm, the chaos that comes with this.
Chaos answered.
Yeah.
No, but this is really powerful.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm pretty confident about that.
Kudos.
Cool. Nice.
Okay, so the final new feature is progressive web apps with a built-in support for building offline-first progressive web apps from within Studio Pro 9. It's similar to native mobile apps, but there are some minor differences between native and progressive web apps, including the UI or security, the feel of the application.
And the necessity to having it to publish to the app stores.
Yeah.
Because a PWA doesn't have to be published to the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store.
Exactly. So from within the browser, you get a pop-up saying if you want to install or add the app to the home screen, which is a really easy way of distributing your apps amongst users.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what this will bring out of the box from within Studio Pro. We know that hybrid for a fact is well, we're done with hybrids, so it's probably either native or PWA. And it's cool that both features are made available from within Studio Pro now. So it's the only thing that you need to know is what to pick in what situation, and that I think calls for a whole new video.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like we should keep it at this regarding the progressive web apps.
Yeah, but stay tuned.
Yeah.
Beside these 3 big improvements, features, there is a whole list of smaller improvements, which we'll skim through real quickly. We improved the get caption and get key expression functions to not throw an error for an empty parameter. Instead, they return an empty string, just as the toStrings function does.
Great feature.
Yep.
Improvement. Yeah.
Good improvement. Yeah. Thanks, Ivo.
We improved the nanoflow execution time, including for passing lists to sub-nanoflows. I can assume there was a performance issue here, which seems to be improved. Cool.
You can now zoom in your microflow editor, your page editor, and your domain model editor by using the plus, minus, and 0 keys.
We made it possible to use associations in the microflow expressions used in the pluggable widgets expression properties and as a page title in the show a page action.
Previously deprecated functions have now been removed from the runtime API. For example, floats equal, currency equal, parse float, format float, and toFloat. And a whole list of Java methods that were previously deprecated have been removed.
And to top it off, there is some consistency checking that has been changed regarding ceiling, floor, max, minus, round. I suggest you check the documentation yourself. We have one that we really want to point out.
Yep.
It's the equality and inequality. So the is sign or not is. Previously allowed enums to be compared with strings. This is no longer accepted, and only enums are allowed to be compared to other enums. Comparing them to strings can still be done by first converting the enumeration to a string using the toString or getKey function. So we have some deprecations. Like we said before and expected, hybrid is not considered future-proof technology. So it is deprecated in Studio Pro 9. And they also created a link to a Mendix World session establishing your mobile architecture strategy. So if you have questions regarding what kind of mobile app you should build, check it out.
Yeah, and they removed the report grid widget. It has been, well, they haven't removed it yet. It's deprecated. It will be removed in a future version.
Hasn't been used by myself in many previous versions.
I was looking for a nice way to say the same.
Okay, some breaking changes.
Yeah.
Anything worth mentioning?
The second one, we removed support for the runtime uniqueness validation. This means that from now on, attributes and associations will be validated for uniqueness in the database. That was already the recommended option according to the project settings. Now it's the only option.
The breaking change worth mentioning. We have removed app services.
Which were introduced in Mendix 7, deprecated in Mendix 8, and removed in Mendix 9.
Cool.
Studio Pro 9 removes support for Internet Explorer 11. Welcome to the new era. So, all joking aside, this could be important for you, because I imagine a lot of companies are still working with Internet Explorer 11. Sorry.
Yeah.
So using Studio Pro 9 might not be the best option yet. One of our clients is currently migrating from Internet Explorer 11 and Edge to Edge Chromium. So we are kind of in the same boat.
True.
But I can imagine there are a lot of other companies which are still depending on Internet Explorer, although that support is coming to an end as well.
Yeah.
From Microsoft. So
there is a need to upgrade that in a sense for your company as a whole.
Yeah, but take into account when starting new apps that you know about this.
Yeah. That's right. That was a
mouthful.
Yeah, that was a heavy release note.
Yeah. I think it's always cool to see what they bring in these major version upgrades. It's always interesting, and of course there are some pretty cool additions and improvements in the minor releases as well. But this is where the big changes happen. like
Absolutely.
the PWAs and the merge algorithm.
I think
That's
that's
so
the one
cool.
I'm most excited about. The merge algorithm.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that
As a
eventually
developer,
will,
that makes our life so much easier.
yeah, it will bring us the most enjoyment. Although I think the performance bot also is worth mentioning if and when it works well the way a user would expect.
Yeah, I think it needs a couple of iterations for it to be truly useful, because we already use a best practice checking tool.
Mm-hmm. But with this, Mendix brings it to everybody.
Yeah, so
as far
that's pretty big.
as far as we can see, without additional cost, which is also really
Yeah,
cool.
very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, I'm excited about 9. Not sure what to say apart from.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited as well. It has some cool new features, a lot of improvements, a lot of fixes, of course, because we don't stop at new features.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like with Mendix 8 and Mendix 7 as well. The monthly release cycle that Mendix uses is great, and I think, like with Mendix 8, Mendix 9 can only get better in the monthly releases.
I agree. And it also seems, but that's an assumption I'm making here, that upgrading from 8 to 9 seems easier than 7 to 8. Or to
You
7 to 8.
took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. So in that sense, I think adopting Mendix 9 will be maybe easier than adopting 8.
Yeah, I agree on that
For
sentiment.
existing projects. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So cool.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to more Mendix 9.
me too. I'm looking forward to more videos as well this year. With a
One thing that hasn't been mentioned yet, which has been mentioned on Mendix World, is Mendix Workflow.
yeah,
Not in
correct.
release notes,
Mm-hmm.
is Mendix 9. So more on that soon? Question mark.
Yeah, maybe a spoiler. No, but indeed, also a big feature to be on the lookout for.
Yeah.
And
So I'm curious when we'll see more about that.
me too.
I think we're done.
Me too. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
Yes. Yeah. So I'd like to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new video, although it is a long one.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one.
Thanks for sticking around, and see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.